Welcome back, boys and girls. And it is getting hot here in Virginia. We're gonna hit low 80s today, so it is getting very hot. I just hope this coronavirus thing is seasonal, like every other virus. And when the temperature goes up, the coronavirus is gonna wind down, and we could put this in the past. But meanwhile, one of my viewers suggested that I should make a video of different hunting calibers that I have and the rifles that goes with it and why I picked it. So today I'm gonna start with the minimum deer calibers. I really believe we need at least 900 foot-pound energy when it hits the target. So because we can't always make a perfect shot, and it needs to penetrate whenever it hits. So I like to base up on minimum energy of 900. First, we have 223 in 55 grain. This is from Barnes tip, and this is copper bullet. I believe when the diameter is small as 223, you need extra help with the internal organ damage. So copper bullet does really well. Now, only problem that I have with this is that at 100 yards, the energy drops to 940, and at 200 yards is 676. So I would say keep it within 100 yards, maybe 120 yards, but not beyond 200 for sure. And even though this is really soft shooting, you don't want your kids to start hunting deer with 223 because I believe this really needs to be shot with a person who has experience and who could place the shots really well. Now in Virginia, 223 is illegal to shoot deer with. So obviously I can't hunt with this. I bought 5 boxes of this like probably 15 years ago, not knowing that 223 was not allowed in Virginia. So as for 223, I only hunt coyotes and turkeys with it. Next, we have 300 blackout, 110 grain, is sponge tip, is copper bullet. And I really believe this is capable up to 100 yards, maybe 120 yards. Now, I had a bad experience with a Honari SST bullet, which didn't penetrate, just blew up on the shoulder. Now, I heard many good things about copper bullet, so I think this is very capable. I haven't shot it yet, shot a deer with it yet, but I'm planning to. And at 100 yards, it's got energy of 996. And at 200 yards, it's got energy of 799. So even with a 300 blackout, I think keeping it under 120 yards is reasonable. Next, we have what I really believe as a minimum deer caliber is 243. This is Honari Super Performance 95 grain SST bullet. And as many of you know, the SST bullet actually does really well on a very high velocity bullet. And there's nothing like 243. Now, as for the energy, at the muzzle, it's got 2139, and even down at 500 yards, it still retains 802 foot-pound energy. So at 400, it's got 992. So I really believe it's accurate enough, it's flat shooting, and out to 400 yards, you really shouldn't have any problem taking down a good-sized deer. So I really believe this is the minimum caliber for the deer hunting. And I think this would be a great caliber to introduce to young hunters and even for your wife because it's got a softer recoil and because it's so flat shooting and you could have them shooting from 100 yards to 200 yards without any adjustment and they could hit the sides of a clay pigeon. And I know for a fact my kids and my wife love shooting 243. On the top, we have 223, and then we have 300 blackout, and you could switch the upper here. And if you want to see a review on this, you can on my channel. And then I have two rifles that's in 243. One is on the top, that's a Browning, old school, and this is Browning, new school, AB3. Today I'm going to talk mostly about 243 because I believe that's the best minimum deer caliber. I'm not going to do a detailed review on it because I've done it and it's on my channel, but I'm just going to do a quick comparison. The old school, as you can see, it's got a beautiful Monte Carlo stock, beautiful wood. And as far as I know, this is made in Finland and they were manufactured in 60s and 70s. This was a limited custom made rifle and you could see that thick wooden stock with the beautiful engravings and everything. And on the top, you could see that this has a semi-heavy barrel and this has a thin barrel. So again, that's a plus for the accuracy. Now, as for the stock, this is just a composite AB3. and even the trigger is plastic. So that's a negative for me. And as for the magazine, this holds 5 rounds, that holds 4 rounds. And as for the recoil pad, this is just hard plastic, and this is really nice and soft. So that's a plus. Now, I've only paid $450 for this whole combo with a $100 rebate from Browning. So, I mean, the Browning came very long way because in the past, Browning rifle were not available for everybody. I mean, people who had money bought Browning. Now, recently, the Browning took their technology and tried to have it available for practically every hunter. So the price is very reasonable. And as for this rifle, honestly, I don't have a lot of information. I bought it from my church member, and you could hear that story on my video as well. But as far as I know, they said this will probably go somewhere like 2,500 for the rifle. Now I have both Nikon scope on it. Again, this scope came with the rifle. This rifle had a different scope. I didn't like it, so I changed that to Nikon BDC scope. So let's see what the trigger is like and how much it weighs. Old school weighs 9 pounds and 10 ounces. So it's not a light rifle, but it's beautiful. AB3 weighs 7 pounds and 13 ounces. That's both rifles with a scope on it and with a barrel stabilizer. So it's a very light rifle. I mean, it's easy to carry into the woods. It is empty. It's empty. And I don't know if you can see the trigger. It's ugly trigger. It's plastic. I hate it. I feel like I'm shooting an air rifle, but don't let the looks fool you. It does have a nice trigger. I did replace a trigger spring on it, so it's even nicer now. But if you look at it, it's got no pre-travel. It's that light. And it feels like probably about less than 3 pounds. See? It's empty. Now, I don't know if you can see it, but this has no pre-travel whatsoever. Just pull, bam. Now, the trigger does feel a little bit heavier than AB3. If this feels more like probably about 4 pounds, but it's really crisp. What really surprised me is that this old school had 3-stage safety. I thought that was a newer technology, but obviously Browning's been doing it since 60s and 70s. AB3 also has 3-stage safety. As for the bolt action, this is a little bit smoother. And as for the bolt handle, this is plastic. I don't like that, but it really feels good in your hand. And this here, AB3 is made in Japan, and this is made in Finland. Super Performance SST worked really well for me. Probably about 13 years ago, I shot a really nice dandy 8-point buck with it. And I used my beautiful old school Browning rifle. And this is the one that I shot. This ran probably about 20 yards or so, and it didn't go far at all. Now, just last year, I shot a 2-doe on the same day. Actually, it was on the same group. One was medium-sized doe, one was a mature doe with a AB3 with the same bullet. And the medium-sized doe dropped on the spot, didn't take a single step. Now, the mature doe probably ran about 15 yards, but the blood trail was massive. And you could see that hunt on my channel. But SST bullet on a deer works really well for me. And I know some states allow you to hunt elk with 243. Well, going to Montana hunt last year and realizing how tough they are, I really don't think we should take a chance hunting elk with 243. And now it's my favorite time. Let's go do some shooting. I know for a fact my kids grew up shooting this rifle and they loved it. And my wife also loved shooting this thing. And I did too, so let's go for it. Oh yeah, it's really tight. Oh yeah, that's tight. That's one MOF for sure. Oh yeah, really tight. All right, at 100 yards, that's with the old school, and that's with the new school. Man, that's devastating. All right, this is one with the Browning old school. That's less than 3/4 of an inch. So that's about what, five, even more than 5/8 of an inch, but very impressive for the old school. And this is with new school. Recycling this target strike me quickly. You could see another hole beneath it, but that actually all three shot went into the same sticker. So if you do it from the halfway, that's right about 1/2 an inch group. So again, very impressive. I don't do a whole lot of hunting with 243 because I like shooting bigger calibers, but this is very capable for deer hunt. It's very accurate. And if God blesses me and if I'm hunting till my late 70s and early 80s, I'll probably go back to shooting 243 more because it's accurate and it's more pleasant to shoot. And lastly, like always, thank God for what you have. Enjoy your life with what you got. But mostly remember, we have to respect the animals that we harvest by picking the proper caliber for the hunt. See you.